across time, across continents, across civilizations that never knew each other. One creature appears again and again: the dragon. From the misty mountains of China to the medieval castles of Europe, dragons have taken flight in our stories, our symbols, and our imaginations. But what is a dragon, and why do so many cultures, separated by oceans and centuries, imagine something so similar? Dragons are ancient mythological creatures, often depicted as large, serpentine beings with extraordinary powers, sometimes flying, sometimes breathing fire, sometimes wise, sometimes monstrous. Their shapes may differ, but their impact is remarkably consistent. Dragons are never just animals, they are symbols. In China, dragons are majestic and benevolent. Unlike the winged, fire-breathing beasts of the West, Chinese dragons are long, snake-like, with no wings but the power to soar through the sky. They are symbols of power, strength, luck, and imperial authority. The dragon was once the exclusive emblem of the emperor, who was called the Son of Heaven. To this day, the dragon remains a cultural icon, paraded during Lunar New Year celebrations and embroidered into traditional clothing as a sign of prosperity and honor. In contrast, European dragons tend to be fearsome, guarding treasure, breathing fire, and representing chaos or evil. In medieval Christian symbolism, dragons were often enemies of saints and heroes. One of the most famous examples is Saint George, who slays a dragon to save a princess, an allegory for good triumphing over evil. These dragons often combined serpent-like bodies with bat-like wings and clawed limbs, rooted in both biblical imagery and Greco-Roman mythology. But dragons aren't limited to Asia and Europe. In Mesoamerican culture, the god Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent, is a dragon-like deity representing wind, wisdom, and life. In India, the Naga are serpent beings, some benevolent, others destructive. In Japan, dragons are often water spirits associated with rain, rivers, and the ocean, beings of balance and protection. In Vietnam, the dragon is a founding ancestor. The origin myth tells of a dragon lord who married a mountain fairy, giving birth to the Vietnamese people. Why are dragons so universal? One theory is that dragons are an evolutionary memory, an instinctive fear of predators like snakes, big cats, and birds of prey. Our ancestors may have blended these threats into a single mythical creature. Another theory is that dragons symbolize the untamed forces of nature: storms, floods, volcanoes, things early humans couldn't control but had to respect. Dragons gave shape to the mystery of the world. They also serve narrative purposes. In mythology and folklore, dragons often guard something valuable: a treasure, a truth, a sacred space. Defeating or taming the dragon becomes a metaphor for human achievement, inner growth, or enlightenment. Think of Smaug in The Hobbit, or the dragons in Game of Thrones, where they represent both destruction and rebirth. In modern culture, dragons have transformed again. No longer just villains or gods, they've become complex characters. In How to Train Your Dragon, they're misunderstood creatures. In Harry Potter, they're challenges to be overcome. In Avatar, The Last Airbender, they're ancient mentors. This shift reflects changing human values, from dominance over nature to coexistence and understanding. Whether feared or revered, dragons are mirrors of the cultures that imagine them. They reflect our fears, our hopes, our ideas of power, danger, wisdom, and wonder. They are guardians of myth, symbols of mystery, and perhaps the most enduring creatures never to have walked the earth. Because in every culture, in every age, we've dreamed of dragons. And maybe that says more about us than it does about them.